Today, we're diving into an ancient story about an emperor, a hermit, and an offer that is just mind-blowing. It's a tale that kind of flips the script on everything we think we know about power, success, and, what it really means to have enough.
So just imagine this for a second. Someone offers you the keys to the whole world. Absolute power, fame, all the responsibility that comes with it. What do? I think most of us would probably jump at that chance, right? Well, our story today is all about someone who did the exact opposite.
On one side, you've got Emperor Yao. He's this legendary ruler, basically one of the most respected sage kings in ancient China. And on the other side, we have Zhu Yu, a wise recluse who wants absolutely nothing to do with society. You really couldn't find two people more different, and they're about to have a conversation that, honestly, still hits home today.
Now get this. This isn't some story about a king looking for a bit of advice. Oh no. Emperor Yao travels deep into the wilderness with a much, much bigger proposition. And frankly, it's kind of crazy. He wants to give his entire kingdom away.
Yao kicks things off with just incredible humility. He says to Zhu Yu, "When the sun and moon are out, isn't it kind of pointless to keep a torch lit?" And you got to pay attention to how he frames this. He's not just being polite. He's saying, your wisdom, that's the sun. My rule, all my hard work, is just this pathetic little torch in comparison. It's useless.
And he doesn't stop there. He throws in another metaphor. He says, when the seasonal rains are falling, isn't it a total waste of energy to keep watering the fields? And again, the message is crystal clear. He sees Yu Yu's very existence as this natural, good thing for the world, which makes all his own backbreaking work as emperor feel completely redundant.
So, he just lays it all out on the table. This is not a test, it's not a trick. With just pure, genuine sincerity, the most powerful man in the world admits he's not good enough and literally begs a hermit living in the woods to take over his throne.
So, what does Yu Yu say? You'd probably expect him to say, "Oh no, I couldn't possibly." But what he delivers instead is this profound philosophical lesson that just completely pulls the rug out from under Yao's entire worldview.
Zhu Yu's response is so simple, it's brilliant. He basically says, hold on, the world is already at peace, thanks to you. He points out that the huge problem Yao wants him to solve, well, it doesn't actually exist.
And this gets us to the real heart of Zhu Yu's philosophy, the difference between what he calls name and substance. The name is just the label, right? The title, like emperor. But the substance, that's the reality. That's what's actually happening. In this case, a well-governed world. Zhu Yu says the substance is the host. It's the real deal, while the name is just a guest, a temporary thing.
And man, this is such a powerful way to look at it. He's asking, why on earth would I chase after the title of emperor, the guest, when the actual substance, a peaceful world, is already here and doing just fine? All I'd get is a name, a reputation, and what's that really worth?
To make his point crystal clear, Zhu Yu doesn't get into some complex argument. Instead, he turns to these simple, really beautiful images from the world around him.
First, he points to a wren, this tiny little bird in a massive forest. It doesn't need every tree to build its home, does it? Nope, it just needs a single branch. It takes exactly what it needs and nothing more. That's its home.
Then right after that, he gives the image of a mole rat drinking from a huge river. It doesn't try to drink the whole river dry. It just drinks enough to fill its belly. And that's it. This right here is the core of his wisdom, knowing the difference between what you truly need and what you endlessly want.
And all of this builds to Zhu Yu's final, unforgettable conclusion. A statement so radical, it just turns our whole idea of ambition completely upside down.
I have no use for the world. Whoa. Now this isn't him being depressed or apathetic. This is the declaration of ultimate freedom. It's the sound of someone who has completely untangled himself from the world's definition of success and found something much deeper in just living simply.
He leaves Yao with one last little analogy. He's basically saying, look, ruling is your job, not mine. I have my own path. Even if you think you're failing, it is not my place to abandon my own life to take up yours. It's all about respecting your role, staying in your own lane.
Now, if this whole encounter sounds vaguely familiar, That's because it has a sort of famous cousin in Western history, but with a pretty interesting twist.
You've probably heard the story of Alexander the Great meeting the philosopher Diogenes. Alexander offers him literally anything he wants, and Diogenes just says, "Stand out of my light." But here's the crucial difference. Alexander was just a bored conqueror looking for a show. Yao was a sincere ruler, genuinely struggling with his own purpose. And because Yao was humble, he actually got a real lesson. While Alexander, he was just told to get out of the way.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? The story of Yao and Xiaoyao is telling us that real power isn't about controlling other people. It's about controlling yourself. The greatest freedom you can have is to look at the throne, or the promotion, or whatever prize the world is dangling in front of you and realize with total peace that you have absolutely no use for it.
And that really leaves us with a question for ourselves, doesn't it? We might not be getting offered a kingdom anytime soon, but we're all chasing something, a title, a salary, a certain status. So the question this ancient story is asking us today is this: what world are you chasing that deep down you might have no use for at all?